Today we need to get into Braun and his mom being seen with Kook and what that is about, and then we also have Kook losing a lot of followers amidst a new trend, and then we have his song 7 being removed everywhere and what's going on with that. So hey dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, and make sure you join us fangirling on Patreon with some free content on Saturdays now, and let's go. The story about 7 getting removed on Facebook and all that sort of stuff is extremely interesting. Apparently Jungkook's song 7 was removed off of Instagram and Facebook, and basically if you were to post a story or reel and you were to use the song 7, it would not be available there to use. People were very upset about this, and people were then tagging the CEO of the label. They were then tagging so many different people except for the people that actually would have anything to do with it. And oftentimes when I see these things online, it irks me because I feel like people are taking out their anger and frustration over something that, one, isn't even a big deal, but taking out that frustration and anger on people who are not involved. That's like if your mom yelled at you and then that day you go out on the street and then yell at a random person because you're mad. I saw people tag multiple people in the label. I saw them tag the CEO, Braun, and then they also tagged Instagram Calm. This is basically a page that's specifically for PR and specifically for journalists. This isn't really a page that was made to communicate with people who have technical issues. The issue of not being able to find a song is tenfold because a lot of times a lot of people don't even check. They just see that someone else couldn't find it and they assume that that is the truth, and they jump along with the bandwagon to be upset. Now let's say they did do their research and they checked and they still didn't find it. Well, there's several reasons why a song might not appear. First one is that sometimes a song just won't appear because there are business accounts and businesses are not allowed to use copyrighted music because sometimes businesses will do ads and that sort of stuff, and you're not allowed to put that type of music behind an ad without permission of the label or artist. Now the second reason is also still copyright, and it's the fact that sometimes songs can't be used because the label isn't really giving permission for the song to be used, and this can happen for many reasons, not even a reason that an artist or a label could even really control. For example, if you're aware of what happened with TikTok and UMG lately, UMG decided to pull out all of their songs from the label. Now any of the artists' songs from the label are pretty much not available to be used on TikTok. Now I believe a lot of that has been fixed. However, a lot of videos are still muted, I believe, but this can happen on Instagram as well, where they just decide to pull out music deals from Instagram and Instagram can't do anything. So the fact that people are tagging Instagram when, one, it has nothing to do with them, and two, if the label does pull out, there's no point in tagging them and protesting that the music to be back or the glitch to be fixed, because they're pulling it for a very specific reason and more of a legal reason where they believe an artist is not being paid fairly. Like good luck changing their opinion based on a tag or a tweet. Now I believe this issue has been fixed, but I don't know what fixed the issue. However, I'm glad that it has been fixed. But this is just another thing to kind of show people that you should never just jump to conclusions or jump right to hate, but that you should kind of expect that it's probably a reason that either we don't understand or a reason out of our control why things happen. There's also been a lot of followers that have been lost, which I think is absolutely crazy. I think it's absolutely insane how people have been unfollowing and blocking like crazy. If you don't know what's going on, let me give you a quick recap. People are really angry and really tired of seeing celebrities not speak up about issues because they don't want to be controversial, because they don't want to be attacked by the opposite side. So because celebrities don't speak up, a lot of people are upset that celebrities are trying to protect their own comfort by not being involved in real world issues that actually matter. So it seems almost out of touch for a lot of people when they see a celebrity talk about things like fried chicken and the rest of the world is like dying or that their kids are dying. I see a lot of people hiding behind this idea that a celebrity, specifically K-pop idols, don't speak up because it's something that they would get in trouble with legally if they spoke up. For example, the boys are in the military right now, so people are saying things like if the boys were to speak up about the issues happening in Israel, they could go to jail. Now, I don't know what rules or laws are explicitly written that artists can't talk about political things when in the military. However, that does make sense to me, so I don't really doubt that. And what irks me even more is that people are finding reasons to justify reasons of celebrities not speaking up based on things that are out of the celebrity's control. They're trying to make it seem like there are things that are out of the celebrity's control. I say that that is BS. I think for the most part, and I think for a lot of artists, if they wanted to, they could speak up about things. So why do I believe that the BTS members, Jungkook specifically, hasn't addressed any of the issues and hasn't talked about it, even though he has gotten the most backlash? Because I believe that there is nothing wrong with not addressing something. I believe that by not talking about something, they are literally just being like, we don't know the full story about this, we don't know what's actually going on over there, so we don't want to talk about it. It's not about picking sides. It's not about saying saying, I stand for this or that. Sometimes entertainers are exactly that. They're just entertainers. This is an argument that I don't see enough people making, is that I think some entertainers can just be that. They don't have to stand for anything. And an artist can choose to come out, have a platform, be amazing, be rich, be all of those things without ever needing to come out and say which side they're on. I don't look at entertainers for politicalness. We look at entertainers to be entertained and to have an escape. I don't want to turn on the TV and go to a music video or whatever it is and see a bunch of political things or things that are happening in the world. If I wanted to see that, I would just turn on the news or do something like that. Sometimes I want to just escape from all the horrible things that are happening in the world. And I don't think that that's a bad thing to do. And 100% agree, the people that are dying or getting hurt, they can't just turn off the awful things that are happening. However, I think that there is a right that people have to be able to not really focus on those things because it's awful. We don't want to be reminded every second of every day that these things are happening. And I think a lot of us would literally go insane. And this also brings this idea of, if we're going to say, how come celebrities aren't talking about X, Y, and Z? Well, how come you guys aren't talking about it? How come you guys aren't thinking about it every second of the day? How come you guys aren't going over there and trying to help out? How come you guys aren't giving up all your money to do it? It's because we don't have the abilities to do it. And if your career was on the line for talking about something or addressing something, then I'm sure you would choose not to do it as well. People have been very angry about what's going on, and I've seen a lot of people talk about a specific photo that has recently just come out. There was recently a photo that people saw of Jungkook, Usher, and Scooter Braun's mom. I think a lot of people were very shocked about this because they were wondering why Scooter Braun's mom was even in the shot or was even on set to be with Jungkook and Usher. A lot of people have accused Scooter Braun of attempting to groom Jungkook and saying that, just like allegedly how Scooter Braun has groomed Justin Bieber into becoming a Zionist or whatever, that Scooter Braun is going to do that to Jungkook. First of all, we have absolutely no proof or anything that Scooter Braun has attempted to groom Justin Bieber. There is literally zero evidence of this. Jungkook is completely grown, and Jungkook is also someone who doesn't speak English. So good luck grooming someone who you can't even talk to, and someone who is a literal adult. Like, how are you going to say, oh, Israel and being a specific religion is so great, you should join the cause, you should be a part of this movement to take over all parts of Palestine, and you explain all of that, but then your person that you're talking to and saying this to, one, doesn't speak English, and two, wouldn't really have any thoughts about a religion because they probably have their own beliefs of a religion or of not a religion. It's going to be really hard to convince someone to switch religions, especially when they're not in a time of crisis. Now, if Jungkook is loving his life and he's doing great, which he obviously is, why is he then going to turn to a whole new religion? Whereas if someone was kind of in a low point of their life, they might turn to a new religion because they might lose faith in the religion that they currently have. So there's no grooming going on. Maybe Scooter Braun just brought his mom along and they all took a picture together. This also could have been AI and edited. We have no idea what's going on here, but to assume that this was a point to groom Jungkook and that the mother was there to also help with this is absolutely insane and a bit of a jump. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks. Just leave a comment right here. Love you. Bye.